And you're both battalion commanders for the Ukrainian Army.
We don't have another way, just one way: fight and win.
It's not like regular war.
We pay a big price to be Ukrainian, and we deserve to be Ukrainian.
Is there a way to get the light on you guys, on your faces?
Easy. Okay, man, just turn all lights.
Not happening.
We are in bunker, man.
Is there any way you can put the camera up a little higher? Is there a book or something sitting around, or not really?
Yes, everything for the US citizen.
No, I want it for you. I want you to
Be
look the
brave,
best here.
be American.
The Ukrainian. We're all looking up to you, Alex. Okay, guys, have a very interesting video for you today. We have 2 Ukrainian battalion commanders for the Ukrainian Army in a bunker right now, agreeing to talk to us on camera. I've been trying to get these guys on camera for many of nights, and last night they couldn't talk because they had to actually go fight Russians. There were bombings outside of their bunker. This story is very personal to me. For those that don't know, I lived in Ukraine for 4 years. My wife is Ukrainian, lived in Kyiv, the capital, from 2016 to 2020. That's why I'm going more in on the political stories with Ukraine than I typically go in on anywhere else, because I have that very close connection to the country. So we have the great privilege and unique access to talk to these guys. Let's jump in here. Alex and Alex. Is Alex one of your best friends?
Yes, one of them. It's like emotional safe place, man.
Or are you sick of Alex yet?
Not yet, because we live just like couple of weeks. You know, it's like you marry. First year is the best, and the next one is the worst.
You're both battalion commanders for the Ukrainian Army. What are your titles? Okay, Alex is the chief. Okay,
and second chief. I'm chief of staff.
After me.
So the setting here, you're in a bunker. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yes.
Can you put the camera around? Can we see what it looks like in there?
It's like 8 meters long.
Yeah, we have two bed, how to say this room, 2 bedroom.
And did you guys build this?
Yes.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to build a bunker like this?
It takes probably like 1 day.
Wow. How many of you guys down there?
In this bunker lives me and Alex, and also like duty officer.
You guys both have families?
Yes.
Yep.
Wives, kids?
I have wife and 5-year daughter.
We're waiting for kids.
Oh, okay. Me too. I haven't started yet, but I'm waiting. Eventually it'll happen. So when's the last time you guys saw your wives?
1st or 2nd March.
Okay.
The last time I had seen my wife when war started. I just moved my wife to my family and went to fight.
Are they both in safe places right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's gotta reduce a little stress, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can concentrate on your work, and they
Yeah.
try to support us. Don't bother us. They understand what we do. They just keep support us.
Yeah. I have a friend from Mariupol who I was going to do a conversation like this with. He really wanted to do it, but then he couldn't because he doesn't want to put his family in jeopardy. He hasn't talked to them for weeks. He said he saw his parents on the news in a food line, so he knew they were alive. But you know, his situation is everyone's in Mariupol and he doesn't even know. So I can't even imagine the burden of that, not knowing. Alex, on the right here, you've been in the Ukrainian Army since 2014, right?
I became officer in 2014. I graduated from the military academy.
Okay.
And
okay.
I was graduated from the military academy from 2012. So before war started, yeah.
Okay.
Alex
so
was in the Crimea.
He was what? In Crimea?
Yeah, I have been in Crimea in that period when the Russian units, or green units came.
So how is this time different for you guys, 2014 versus what did this start? February 24th? How does it feel differently for you guys?
A lot. Like Ukrainian armed forces change. We have a new generation of the Ukrainian officers who grew up in the combat action.
Okay.
Also, we have much better supply. We rebuilt our armed forces. We became powerful, stronger, and our people are motivated. And the bad thing is that every soldier, every officer understands who's the enemy.
You guys are the heroes to the world, or a lot of the world, at least. There's, at least in the West, there's a ton of support. Zelensky's looked at as like, wow, everyone's like, wow, look at how strong that leader is. I wish we had somebody like that. I think he's being seen that way all around Europe, the States, other countries. Um, how important is that to you guys to have that leadership right now?
You feel leadership in the each stage, start from the president and go down to our generals and like commanding officer. Everybody understand that we will win this war because we fight for our freedom and independence.
Yeah, we have motivation more than Russian units who came to our land for fight. And also, not too much people in the world believe that Ukraine can like endure so long time that we have right now. And this is why we looks like, I don't know, strong and powerful country. And we can stop the second in the world Russian army.
Yeah, it's been amazing to watch. I mean, the big victory so far has been pushing the Russians north out of Kyiv and northern Ukraine, right? That was unbelievable.
Also, I had some small victory. Maybe you have heard like a couple of days ago, the Russian flagmanship was sunk by Ukraine side says it was sunk by Ukrainian anti-ship missiles, but Russia said like it's destroyed by themselves because of detonated.
They dropped a birthday cake and the candle lit the ship on fire. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Something like that. So was that big for you guys, that victory of destroying that symbolic ship?
Yeah, and that ship has a name Moscow. It was symbolic, yeah.
Right. So this might seem like a silly question, but when you're out fighting, and feel free to stop me wherever you want, obviously, but have you come up in contact with Russian soldiers? Are you like face to face, or you're very far detached from them, or how does that work?
Probably like 10 days ago, we have captured two of them, two Russian guys. Actually, that was two guys from Donetsk region who came through the Crimea. Like,
what's that like, capturing those guys?
You know, after that, what they did with the Ukrainian cities like Mariupol around the Kyiv, they killed a lot of civilians. They killed and wounded a lot of women. They raped it. When we captured the guys, I would say about myself, I like feel like hate or something like that.
Right.
But we captured not official Russian units. It was like from Donetsk region, not officially Russian unit. I mean, not from Russia.
Yeah,
it was mixed feeling.
They were civilian and like
they just
Russian troops catch them and make them military,
and put them uniform.
Oh.
It would be better than we captured official Russian unit or official Russian soldiers. It would be great.
How does that work with? Okay, some Ukrainians have family members in Russia. Some Russians have family members in Ukraine. Have you seen any friends or know anyone that's going through that, like having family there, or what's going on with that? Because, you know, Russia tells a totally different story than what you're seeing. Do you have any experiences with that?
I don't have relatives in Russia, actually.
You don't?
So,
okay.
My blood sister in 2010, she moved to the Donetsk region, and we had a very good relationship before war started. But from 2014, she really changed her mind, and she started to support Donetsk region and Russian troops.
Right.
And from that time, we didn't have any good connection. She had, and also she has right now, a lot of Russian propaganda about like Ukrainian troops, Ukrainian units killed civilian, and Ukrainian units were like do bad stuff. And Russian units like better in the world, the best in the world, and they wanted to make this, I know, country and world better.
Well, the Russian argument, at least Putin's argument, is they have to cleanse Ukraine of the Nazi element, right? And so, correct me where I'm wrong here. Part of the Azov battalion, maybe a couple thousand, might have a far right Nazi ideology. Or how would you say that if someone says, hey, Ukraine's full of Nazis? What would you say?
I don't want to speak about the Azov unit because I never saw it there, you know. I
Sure.
don't part of the Azov. I know that Azov is one of the bravest and powerful unit in the Ukraine, and they show this in the Mariupol. They stay and they fight there, and I know that they will be stay there to the end.
Yeah.
Because they are the bravest guy in the Ukrainian armed forces. And about the national movement in the Ukraine, like we are Ukrainian.
Yeah.
I think everybody need to have like something in your heart. Like,
Right.
know.
I don't know if you know US culture and politics too well, but so we have this group called Antifa and we have the Proud Boys, right? And one would be considered far left, one would be considered far right. That would be the equivalent of saying a country is going to attack the USA because of the Proud Boys or Antifa. These are very, very small groups in numbers. They make up almost nothing, right? And so the argument I find to be a little bit silly because in all my time in Ukraine living there, I never came across any neo-Nazi ideology. Of course, it exists and exists in all countries, but the argument is quite ridiculous, especially since you have a Jewish president that obviously doesn't believe in neo-Nazi ideology.
People are crazy. Look for the size of Ukraine and also look for the size of the Russian. Like we don't attack Russia. Russia attack Ukrainian land. If you look down the history, you can see that Russian many times try to take our freedom. They try to control Ukraine. They change language, change history,
rewriting the history,
make crimes against Ukrainian people, kill a lot of people struggling. But now is the time to show to the Russian people that we are another nation. We deserve to be a part of the big world. We are free people, independent, and we're ready to fight for our freedom. And this is not just like
regular war.
It's not like regular war.
And it's not just fault of Putin. It's not like because Putin, our president. It's touch everybody in the Russian.
It's their culture.
Because Russian just watch for this. They doesn't try to stop Putin, you know?
Yeah. I saw some people have tried, but they get locked up for a long time. That's my understanding, but I don't know how many are trying.
Hey, Ukrainian try. In 2014, they tried to be free.
Yeah.
But Russian doesn't try. They have like 140 million population. Mm-hmm. Like you can imagine how many people they have. Yeah. They doesn't try. They don't want to do this.
From my experience traveling the country, you guys obviously know more than me, but all over the country, when I was there 2016 to 2020, the vast majority of people were very much Ukrainian, very much pro-Ukraine. There is a small percentage of the population that's more pro-Russian. How would you explain that to people?
It's because all our countries is post-Soviet Union countries, and the old generation of the people, they live their best age and life in the Soviet Union, and they think if Soviet Union come back, they start to live the same life like they live when they was young, you know.
And I found none of the young people felt like that. Is that fair to say? Yeah,
because like communist propaganda works like the same way like Russian. They don't see another world. They don't see how the other people live, and they think that the lifestyle which they choose is the best, you know. But it's a wrong opinion.
Right. Well, look, I've never been for, I wasn't for the Iraq invasion that we had. This invasion is obviously unjust. So it's very obvious, I think, for those that want to spend some attention on the situation to realize a sovereign country has been invaded. You guys are very much your own people. That's one thing I noticed when I lived in Ukraine was people were, despite all the problems in Ukraine, and every country has problems, people were very proud. From 2016 when I moved, like the EU opened up for travel. So many young people were traveling. People from when I moved there in 4 years, like nobody spoke English. When I left, so many people spoke English because they were, you know, connecting with the world and wanted to be more a part of the world. They were looking west, not east. It was like a Renaissance period. It was a very exciting time. Like all these new restaurants, art installations in Kyiv. And I could feel that I don't know if it was patriotism then. I think it was actually, but I could feel that pride and that like that nationhood. It was patriotism, right? So when, and this is just my opinion here, when Putin obviously didn't have intel on the ground, I don't think, to understand that if you just had to go to coffee shops around the country, that could be Kharkiv, that could be Kyiv, Lviv, and listen to people talk for like 10 minutes, they'd realize these people want to have nothing to do with Russia. They're way more interested in their own country and being on their own. And so what I, metaphorically speaking, it's sort of like that old boyfriend where the girl broke up and he can't handle that, right? I don't want to call Ukraine a girl. It's just a metaphor. But like there's this crazy controlling jealousy thing going on, but Ukraine has moved on. You guys, I can't give an exact location, obviously, but you're in the south of the country. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. It's hard to really describe that part of the world for those that haven't been in it, like anywhere, right? So one thing I wanted to point out that I've been seeing on Western news is people often confuse the languages. Like they think if people are Russian speaking, that means they're pro-Russian. And I often have to explain, look, no, you can actually have the most pro-Ukrainian person that speaks Russian language. That's their native tongue. I just want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Like in your battalion, are you speaking Russian? Are you speaking Ukrainian? Are you speaking both? Or how does that work?
I'm started to speak Ukrainian after 2014.
Okay.
Sometimes I can speak Russian because a lot of people in Ukraine speak Russian and understand Russian. But in the Ukraine, it's not the big problem. You can speak language wherever you want, like what language you prefer. So it's not like, oh, you speak Russian, you need to be punished. No. In the Ukraine, you're free to speak wherever you want.
Like in another country, people who lives near the border with second country, you can hear like people who speak with the dialect with some words from another language.
Yeah. And when I lived in Kyiv, it was like sometimes, especially confusing in the beginning, one person would speak Russian, the person they're speaking to would speak Ukrainian. They'd converse back and forth. And I was just trying to pull down words and figure out what language they were actually in. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify that because I find that to be often that story to be mistold as in language. For example, my wife, when she lived in Ukraine, spoke mostly Russian, but now I think this last couple months is going to really turn mostly everyone to speaking Ukrainian, right? Like I mean, do you feel that, or what is the sentiment you feel with people?
In the battalion, we have different people. Some of them speak Russian, some of them speak Ukrainian, but all control signals and commands we give in the Ukrainian language.
Okay.
And I think Ukrainian language identify us like Ukrainian. So it's very important. And each Ukrainian need to learn and speak Ukrainian.
And I don't think there'll ever be confusion again. You know, you guys have been to the States, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think quite often Americans who hadn't traveled would be like, oh, Ukrainians like Russians or whatever, and they'd call them Russians or something. I don't think that mistake's ever going to happen again. I think it's very clear who are Ukrainians and who are Russians. I have nothing, look, personally, I have Russian friends. I have nothing against Russian people on a personal level. I have everything against this policy or any support for this bullshit war.
I have one situation in the US airport when we speak Ukrainian, and one of the US lady started to speak Russian, and she asked us, do you from Russian? And it's actually war start. It was end of the February. You say like, no, we are Ukrainian. She was like, oh, we're Ukrainian. Sorry. I don't want to say that you are Russian.
I hope no one in the world will confuse Russian and Ukraine.
And I don't want that somebody recognize me like Russian. We pay a big price to be Ukrainian now, and we deserve to be Ukrainian.
Well said. You guys are all paying the ultimate price, but this is the time of it's your country or you lose it, right? I mean, is that how the feeling is?
We don't have another way, just one way: fight and win.
Guys, what are your days like right now? Is it completely random, as in like last night you had to go out and fight? do you stay in the bunker until there's activity, or how does it work? Like, what's a day in the life of you guys right now?
It depends what's going on around. If we have some task or the Russian troops show some activities, you need to be always with your unit and understand what's going on around and try to control the command by your forces.
The one of us should be in a bunker all time in order to connect between our units and control and communicate with the higher staff.
Right. Say during the daytime, you go out of your bunker. Are people going about, there's no normal life, obviously, but somewhat normal life, as in going to the grocery store? Are there businesses open where you're at, or how does it work exactly?
You cannot see here a grocery store or something like that. Each supply we have from our armed forces.
When you go out in near a town or anything, how is it operating there? How are people functioning?
When this active phase, this war started, the couple weeks, all business were stopped. Mm-hmm. And right now, Ukrainian government understood that we need to work.
So people go about normal lives, as in they get up in the morning, they eat breakfast, they go to work.
It's difficult to say that it's normal life because each hour you can hear the sirena, because the Russian missiles shoot every day in the civilian cities and the big cities. Today, I read the news, they killed 5 civilian people in the Kharkiv. You feel war in the air.
Yeah, what is that like for those that have never felt it? It's just you're constantly on edge. You're not sleeping. You're not eating. Or what is? It's different for everyone, obviously. But what do you think it's like for Ukrainians right now that just know that they don't know what tomorrow brings? Right? Is that fair to say?
I think at that time people understand that Ukraine armed forces stop Russian and they trust us. Yeah. So some of the big cities start to come back to normal life.
During the first couple of days, a lot of people moved to abroad, to Poland, to other countries. And right now, a lot of people come back.
What do you guys need right now as far as the Ukrainian army? What do you guys need?
I think we need stronger, more bigger units and also air defense assets we need, because we weak in that direction. Mm-hmm. And also we need more pressure from the international community to more sanction to Russia to stop this machine, because they still have a lot of money to continue.
We need to stop by Russian gas.
I know it's difficult for the and other countries, mm-hmm. but on my point of view, a lot of European countries have to stop using this gas and oil, because it's given money to Russia mm-hmm. to supply this war, to supply Russian units on Ukrainian land.
Right. But how are aid and things coming in right now? Like, food is plentiful. Is everything coming in at the moment?
You feel support from everywhere, starting from our high commanding armed forces and from the civilian side. A lot of civilian people help for the military. They cook food.
They collect the money, create some volunteer organization.
Who cannot fight with rifle in the hands, they try to support in different ways. You feel like each Ukrainian try to help and support Ukraine armed forces and people who hold rifles.
So that's the one good thing out of this, right? Like, everyone came together?
Yes.
So you feel fully supported?
Exactly.
Yeah, we feel fully supported. Also, we feel support from international community, because without the support from US side, from European Union side, it will be very difficult to fight against Russia. Because on my point of view, this sanctions works, but not as much as we want, but it's work.
Guys, I give you all my support. We're all rooting for you. A lot of respect and admiration for you, your country, all the people that have come together, all Ukrainians. It's the most horrific situation, but the one beauty is everyone coming together, and the strength of your country and your people is admirable to all of us. We all stand aside respecting you guys. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
As last of all, I would like to say thank you for your job, because based on Russian propaganda. They use propaganda to put in the people mind wrong way, wrong meaning. And people who work in media, like you can give more realistic information from the first source. And you did a great job. Thank you for that.
No, thank you guys. Again, you didn't have to do this, and it's you got bigger issues to deal with than an interview. So thank you for that. And Alex and Alex, maybe we'll see you again in a month or two, or we could catch up. And then I look forward to the celebration. Okay. One day, maybe seeing you guys in Ukraine, and we'll have some champagne ski, or however you say it, and celebrate the victory.
Definitely. Glory to Ukraine.
Glory to Ukraine. Thank you, guys. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. I have a link down below here. It's bangcookies.org. I'm not trying to sell you cookies at all, but the owner, George, is a guy I know who has started a fund in Ukraine. He's actually there right now in the west of the country. A lot of his staff, employees out of Ukraine. And it's really hard to find organization that you can trust. This is the most trustworthy one I've found to date. So I got that link down below here if you want to donate. And the guys just told me some of the money actually directly makes it to their battalion. So you're actually directly helping, which is very cool. Just want to offer you a different perspective to the situation. I don't think, at least I haven't seen too many battalion commanders in bunkers talking on camera. A lot of thanks to Alex and Alex for making this happen. Thank you for taking interest. Until the next one.